ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The government secondary school's best of 3 basketball playoffs back on court yesterday at the AF Adderley Gym. The junior girls up first after taking game 1. The S. McPherson Sharks looking for the sweep, but the T.A. Thompson Scorpions wouldn't go away quietly. The Scorpions stay alive, and even the series had won all with a 30-21 Game 2 victory.
To win here, it means a lot to me because I think the first game that we played, we were a little antsy, we were excited. This is the first time that T.A. Thompson has been there in a long time in the playoffs, so the girls were a little bit overexcited, I would say. And so we settled down today and we played T.A. Thompson basketball.
Our girls just came out flat today. We just had to hit the boards. I told them that no one's going to give them anything. They have to work for everything they want, so they have to come out and play tomorrow. T.A. Thompson came out to play today, and that's what they did.
Just told the girls that they needed to settle down and play their basketball. Once they play their basketball, we have good players, and a lot of them are young. I have actually 7th and 8th graders. That's what my team based on. So we just want to come out here and allow them to play their basketball. And once we play our basketball, I'm sure that we can make it to the championship.
On to the junior boys now, and the C.H. Reeves Raptors didn't want a chance going the distance. They sweep the S. McPherson Sharks, taking game 2, 34-22.
They came out here and they did everything they're supposed to do. They executed everything from practice. They just went in there to give a hard fight, and they were there to do to get the victory.
The first game was free throws, and this game was layups. That's obvious, man, and that's like the fundamental of basketball, making layups or you're not going to have a chance at it. But, you know, this is the 3rd time we make it to the playoffs again with these young guys. They've been 3 times in a row. They have a lot to grow about basketball, about slowing the ball down, getting too anxious, playing with each other. And I think they're going to grow more from this when they move on to high school.
Up next in the Junior Boys Championship for C.H. Reeves will be the Donald Davis Royals, and the Raptors will definitely need to bring their A game.
Don't stop. Tomorrow we back out there. We can go and continue practice. Work on the small things. Them same little things will kill you come big in the big games.
This was the scene at the AF Adderley Gym following the junior boys game. That's right, it was lights out, meaning the senior girls and senior boys games were pushed back. 2 high school basketball games played in Eleuthera yesterday. Central Eleuthera senior boys taking care of Preston Albury 43-24. The situation much the same on the senior girls side. Central Eleuthera winning over Preston Albury 44-4. From the NBA, Buddy Hield will participate in the Taco Bell Skills Challenge February 17th during All-Star Weekend in LA. Buddy replaces Utah Jazz rookie guard Donovan Mitchell, who withdrew to replace Orlando forward Aaron Gordon in the slam dunk contest. Buddy also playing in the Rising Stars game February 16th. He is the Sacramento Kings' top 3-point shooter and ranks 9th in the NBA this season at 43.2%. Now, after learning about that late yesterday, Buddy and the Kings, they came from behind to beat the Chicago Bulls 104-98. Buddy finishing up with 14 points. We have more tonight from last week's World Baseball Softball Confederation Congress. According to President of the English Caribbean Softball Confederation, Burkett Dorset, there is now a new structure in place.
The whole thing will now be known as the World Cup instead of the various championships. Everything would be World Cups, and they're placing a lot of emphasis on the under-19 boys, it's not boys, but they call it under-19 men and women, starting in the year 2019. They're qualifying rounds, and then in some cases where it might not be time to do those qualifiers, they would go by the rankings. And for the under-19 women, it would be done based on the finish in clear water that they had in the tournament late last year. What the WBC of the Americas want to do is to sort of formalize all stats for the players around the world, around the region, so at the end of the day, they can have national awards or international awards for the players. Emphasis has also been placed on the umpiring situation, where we would have regional umpires in chief for the certain areas, and that regional umpire, that deputy umpire in chief, would be responsible for training umpires in their particular region, and the WBC of Americas would accept those umpires as certified umpires.
Dorset also spoke about some good news for those countries struggling in our region.
there's a grant that's being provided by the IOC for hurricane zone. Those countries that are in hurricane zone, the facilities were affected by a hurricane. They can apply to the local Olympic Association for funds to have those facilities fixed and bring back up to playing condition.
The Camperdown Equestrian Center came alive over the weekend with their semi-annual show and inter-school competition. Our Kelsey Johnson was there.
You usually don't have cheering squads at horse shows, but who could resist the urge of screaming when young riders such as Kelly Kuskalis, Riley Harper, Samantha Sands, Eliane Higgs, and Katie Kelly clears an obstacle? They are the country's future in equestrian, and these young riders put on a show on Saturday at Camperdown.
Actually, the best part was when everybody started cheering, like, "Go Riley, go!" I'm like, yes, I can do this. There was a really hard turn in our course, and when I made the turn, everyone's like, "Go Sam, go make the turn, you did it!"
The early morning ride on Saturday was all about the younger jockeys who had a blast.
That was my first horse show, and I had 2 first place. I got first place in walk and second place in trot. I got this one. I got in my medal class, and I got my 2 and my 2 seconds in my jumping.
Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
With the BAISS basketball championships finishing up last Friday, it's straight into the private school soccer season this week. Yesterday's Sacs Big Red Machine getting off to a winning start in the senior boys division. They shut out the Kingsway Academy Saints 11-0. Queen with a bit of bad luck at this past weekend's Farmers Key Class C regatta. With victory in sight in the second series race, it was all taken away.
We had a good start and we were out front. What happened is, because the organizers don't have like a loudspeaker, we really didn't get the race course. And so we led the race for 2.5 laps, and we thought the race was over. We were headed back to the finish line to shore, not knowing that there was another buoy out that we had to go around.
The Whitty K once again was the class of the field, winning the Farmers Key Regatta, but Smashy was also able to hold her own.
I had to settle for 3rd place this time, but next time I can get them. But all of the boat is very fast, and you make one mistake and you get beat.
How tough it is to beat Whitty K?
It's very hard to beat Whitty K with the crew. She is a good boat, she got good crew, and she rigged proper. It's hard to beat her, but I believe like one of these days I gonna beat her.
Making their way to the Farmers Key Regatta to catch the action was the minister responsible for regattas, the Honourable Renward Wells, and the Member of Parliament for the area, Chester Cooper.
Regattas are always an excellent opportunity to be able to see what's going on in terms of sailing in the country, and I'm always pleased to be a part of it. It's always an exciting time, especially for the people in the islands or the community wherein we're actually having the regatta. It is such an economic boost and push for those persons within those communities, and so I'm always not amazed as overall the talent of the people who are involved in sailing and sloop sailing.
These homecoming and regattas are important elements of our calendar, and this is an opportunity not just for camaraderie, not just for visitors to experience true island life, but it's an opportunity for us to come together and help to boost the economy here in Farmers Key. So I'm going to challenge you, Farmers Key, when I come back next year, I hope to stay in Farmers Key. There's not enough accommodations here in Farmers Key, so I'm going to encourage you to build some cottages.
The next regatta set for Exuma will be the Bull Reg, which was postponed from New Year's. The big question now, will the Whitty K be in attendance?
I got to talk to my crew. Buzzy asked me if we would come, so we'll make a decision by next week if we're going to go. But I would like to sail in it. The New Year's didn't work out too well for me scheduling-wise because of the delay. I think we might show up.
The City Bowling League with competition last night at Mario's. Soneth Lockhart led Carib Construction to a sweep over Telco Enterprises. He toppled the Pins for a 244 high game and a 649 three-game set. Raymond Adderley assisted with a 238 game of his own, while Marina McLean had a 235 game and a 636 set. In the loss, David Slatter a 638 set as well. Gigatech, they picked up a 2-1 win over NUA behind a 238 game from Ansel Ferguson. Driscoll Roll of the Assure Win Pocket Policers also scoring a 2-1 win over the BEC Shockers. Driscoll, she crushed the Pins for a 256 game and a 636 set. Elsewhere, the CDM Knights blanked the 10-back Strikers. Clayton Gardner Associates winning 2-1 over the Avengers. The City Leaguers, they won 2-1 as well over the Brooklyn Strikers. Checkers Cafe and the Island Game Strokers, they scored 2-1 wins too, taking care of the ENU Water Coolers and Bahamas Air Flyers respectively. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.